Thank you for watching Tommy's Musical Adventure. Please like and subscribe.
Remember those days. Remember those days.
Hello, Vinyl community. This is Tommy, and welcome to another musical adventure. I want to thank my friend Nathan for that great intro that he did. He's been a regular watcher of my videos, and I appreciate it. So thanks, Nathan. That's awesome, and we may see more of him in the future. So today's video today's adventure is a little bit of a catch-up video. I'm going to show some recent additions. I used to do these on a fairly regular basis, and I've kind of got away from it because, to be honest, I just don't buy as much as I used to. When you get a collection like mine, I kind of have a lot of stuff, so I've limited myself to just very specific type of titles or things I'm really looking for, and quite a bit of new stuff, and new stuff costs a little bit more, and so I don't get as much. So, but I want to show you guys what I've got. We're going to go through them pretty quickly. Hey, real quick, get this out of the way, subscribe. You know the bit. Comment down below. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning into my channel. So let's get on with the getting. And so these are just some stuff that I've added to my collection in the last couple of months since my last sort of new additions video that I did. Now this excludes like stuff like my Third Man Vault and some of the stuff that you've seen here, the Record Store Day stuff. So I kind of left those out on purpose, because they're already in other videos. Go back and watch those videos. But this is just some random things that I've picked up here and there over the last few months. The first is Paul Williams. This is Life Goes On. I've really been getting into Paul Williams lately, and trying to get all of his albums. They're not hard to find. As a matter of fact, some of you are probably going, well, these are thrift store records. That's probably true. But I dig Paul, and I'm finding good copies of stuff, and I'm slowly but surely getting my Paul Williams collection up to speed. The next one was a real cool find. Regular watchers to my channel know that I'm a big Lee Hazlewood fan, and this is a cool record that I picked up. This is the 98% American Mom and Apple Pie 1929 Crash Band on the LHI, Lee Hazlewood Industries label. This one is in mono. This is an original copy. Of course, you see across the top, Lee Hazlewood Presents. This was a record that came out on his label, and they were sort of these instrumental versions of his songs. Of course, he did the liner notes there, and you can pause and check them out. 98%, because nobody is pure, darling. Lee Hazlewood. And of course, you see the various band members. Of course, this is all fictitious. There is the track listing. Songs that you've probably seen and know, stuff like Summer Wine, These Boots Are Made for Walking, Houston, How Does That Grab You, Darling? So it's an interesting little collection of, and of course it says right here, sample copy, not for sale. So I don't know if there's a promo. I'm assuming it was. But anyway, this was a very cool find that I was really glad to add to the collection. Especially as a Lee Hazlewood fan, thought that was pretty cool. Here's one that came out last year for Record Store Day. This is Raining Sound, Memphis in June on Merge Records. This was a live recording of the band Raining Sound. The Memphis lineup, Greg Cartwright's band, originated in Memphis. And this is sort of the last hoorah of the original band. They broke up shortly after this tour, I believe. There's the track listing across the top. I'm a big fan of this group, big fan of Greg's. And one of the best live concerts I've ever seen, Raining Sound. Saw them in Memphis at the High Tone many years ago. Really a lot of energy, really cool group. Lindsey Buckingham. This is the self-titled Lindsey Buckingham album that came out, I believe, last year, 2021. And if you've not heard this record, I found it in the sale rack. And this is a really, really good record, y'all. Really impressed with it. Of course, Lindsey, everybody knows Lindsey from Fleetwood Mac, but you know, he's done quite a bit of solo work. And if you haven't checked this album out, do so. It's really good. Really was impressed with this album and enjoyed it a lot. Very cool record. This was a kind of a VCLT gift from a cousin who asked if I wanted this album, and I'm like, sure. This is AC/DC's Power Up, the last album they did that came out, a couple of years ago. And I never got it for whatever reason, and decided to get it. He wanted to send it to me, so I said, yeah, send it along. I'd love to have it. I've spun it once and enjoyed it. It's an AC/DC album. AC/DC fans, you know. This is one that I was curious about. I'd been reading about it. This is they've done these Small Faces reissues. The Lacquer's cut at Air Mastering, the Immediate records. There's a series of these that have come out, and I think they've come out a few times. There's a little Obi strip or whatever you want to call it, and I grabbed this album because I don't have it and wanted to give it a listen. It says limited edition. Some are colored. This one is not a colored vinyl. It's got the white Immediate label. Some great liner notes there from Mark Patras. And yeah, so this is just one. It does sound really, really good. The lacquer is mastered by Nick Robbins. I can't remember, I think I may have looked, but yeah, not sure about the, who actually cut the vinyl. But yeah, they sound really good. They're clean. I think they're digital. I could be wrong. I don't know. Some of you who may be more familiar with this series. But this is an album I didn't have on vinyl. And so I've got There Are But Four, and I've got a copy of Ogden's. And so I thought, well, and plus this is just a great album anyway. But yeah, so comment on this if you know any more about these. Like I said, they're imports, but they're cool, and they sound really good. And here's a couple that I picked up because I just didn't have them in my collection for one weird reason or another. But this is Dr. Birds and Mr. Hyde. This is the album that came out right after Sweetheart of the Rodeo. This is an original Columbia 360. Of course, this lineup of the Byrds, while not as commercially successful as the original incarnation, but Roger McGuinn was still on board. And of course, Clarence White, the fantastic and awesome and just incredibly gifted Clarence White. Clarence White, one of my favorite guitarists. I love these later Byrds records. And yeah, this is not quite as hardcore country as Sweetheart of the Rodeo, but it's a pretty cool record. And another one I did not have in my vinyl collection, my Byrds, is Bird Maniacs. And this one came out in the early 70s, I think 71, of course on Columbia. Very cool record. Again, Clarence White, Skip Batten, and Roger McGuinn in the band. Gene Parsons. Gene Parsons, really, really awesome player. There's Gene right there. No relation to Graham. There's McGuinn. Then, of course, Clarence. It's right over here. Here are some of the extra guys, including Jim Cedar. I'm assuming I'm pronouncing that correctly. And Skip there on the end, who played bass in this lineup of the Byrds. This album's a little more lush, if you will. Some string arrangements and stuff. But still some very, very cool songs and worth checking out. Now, this is one some of you may be showing or talking about. This is the Rhino High Fidelity series. It's a new sort of series they're putting out. I think the speculation is this is sort of replacing Run Out Groove. They've put out 2 titles so far. This one, which is Coltrane Sound by John Coltrane. And they've also done the Cars' first album. As you can tell from the notes here, it's 180 gram vinyl. They're limited to 5,000 copies of each title. The liner notes by Tom Dowd, who did these original sessions. Of course, it came with this little pull-out little booklet here. The Tom Dowd notes come from the box set from 1995. The Heavyweight Champion. But there it is. So there's nothing really new in the way of liner notes. But they come in a really heavy stock jacket, like almost like a tip-on, Stoughton tip-on. But cut by Kevin Gray at Coherent Audio. Of course, Kevin does great work. This is a beautiful album. I'm a big Coltrane fan. Really impressed with the sound. The vinyl is quiet. You know, sounds really nice. It's not, to me, as dynamic as some of the Verve acoustic sounds Coltrane reissues, but it's clean. I've got an older digital copy. I don't have the Bernie Grundman cut that came out a few years ago, but I love this album. This has got Equinox on it, as well as Central Park West, which is a beautiful song. So this is one of those Coltrane albums that Atlantic put out sort of after the fact. They put it out long after he had been recording. This actually came out after right before Crescent. So it came out in '64 is when it was originally released on the Atlantic label, and it was pulled together from just sessions. But again, like I said, Equinox, one of the great Coltrane songs. Satellite, of course, is great. Central Park West, Liberia. It's a great album. Don't be fooled by the fact, oh, it's an outtakes record. It wasn't really done with his input or anything like that. It's solid, and has some really great playing on it. So Coltrane fans, don't sleep on it. Mine is number 224 of 5,000. Now, one bit of warning and one complaint about this that's going around if you read the Hoffman forums, which I do, is that the mailer, they've been mailing it in that really shoddy mailer. The people who bought that Run Out Groove Monkeys, More of the Monkeys special edition, the mailer is not very good. Coming from California, just be careful. There's been some people that have gotten some damaged copies. Fortunately for me, mine arrived unscathed. Everything looked really good. So was grateful for that. Now, I didn't have the same luck with the Monkeys thing that came out last year before last. It came pretty dinged up. Now, they did replace it. But anyway, this is a new series, like I said, of sort of audiophile stuff. I think they're sort of replacing maybe the Rhino handmade stuff that came out a few years ago, as well as the Run Out Groove titles. I think Run Out Groove isn't doing like the monthly voting like they were doing before. So if anybody knows any more about that, comment down there and let me know. Very impressed with this one. Some of you may have gotten the Cars reissue. Let me know how that one is. Finally, the last thing I want to show is Bob Dylan Shadow Kingdom. This is the soundtrack to the concert film that came out during COVID, the lockdown, and it's basically some new versions live. It was kind of touted as a live event, but it was really a film is all it was. So there's nothing really new here with the exception of Sierra's theme here, the last track, which I don't think was in the original show, but most of these songs are Dylan songs. I'll Be Your Baby Tonight, Queen Jane Approximately. The songs, I think T-Bone Burnett was involved with the project. And so, yeah, this is they're calling it the soundtrack to the concert film. which I saw the concert film when it came out. It's a 3-sided set. And I want to show you guys the etched side because, you know, this is cut by Ryan K. Smith. So I haven't spun it yet, but I'm sure it's phenomenal sounding. Yeah, so there you go. Shadow Kingdom by Bob Dylan, which is his latest release. Hard to call it a new album because, you know, it's old songs, but it's new versions of old songs. Anyway, that's what that is. So those are my new pickups. Thanks for watching the video. Comment down below. We'll see you next time with a new adventure. Thanks for watching.